You are warmly welcome to Berut Counselling Service Center, where we touch lives. And your host is Esther Ruth Ibarwa. And today we are coming with our teens. How can we effectively communicate with teens? And who is a teen? This is a person aged between 13 and 19 years. It is a stage from childhood to adulthood. And these persons go through a lot of changes. There are physical, emotional, social, physiological changes happening in their lives because of hormonal effects. That triggers behavior change, and that calls for effective communication between these teens and their parents. Parents have to be very mindful of these teens because this is a very, very crucial and difficult stage of their life. They are neither children nor adults. Therefore, parents need to adjust in their parenting styles, because this is going to enable to exchange ideas, to exchange thoughts. They have a lot of thoughts. They have opinions and a lot of knowledge. In this way, it will help us to understand our teens. It will help us to produce good results out of these teens. They are at a stage where they have a lot of information, a lot of questions. And if we do not effectively communicate with these teens, we are going to miss them. This calls for deliberate, effective verbal, non-verbal, and listening modes of communication. And we need to be present in the lives of our children. We need to be able to listen to them, whether they are speaking stupid or they are not. To them, what they are pouring out, it is okay. They are looking at a mother, at a father, at a guardian, as someone who can answer their question. But sometimes they don't even want to listen to us. We need to be patient and bring them on board. Parents should establish a good relationship with their children, beginning with childhood. Let us not wait for them to grow. We should begin right from the word go, and we need to wake up and reach out to our children. There is a lot going on in the lives of our children, and if we are not careful, they will end up in a crisis with us. Parents, we need to switch off from the instruction style, and we need to be able to explain to our children. They need to know why we are telling them what we are telling them, or else they will not do it. The Bible tells us in Isaiah chapter 1 verse 18 that, "Come, let us reason together," declares our God. We emulate our God. Let us imitate him. He's our example. If he can call us on board to come and reason together, why can't we do this with our children? Because this current generation is more informed. They have a lot of information than our times. Parents should willingly and readily be available to truthfully answer the children's questions. They have questions about the changes that go on in their bodies. And if we are not ready there to answer their questions, to listen to them, someone else is willing to listen to them and offer them wrong information. And so if we are readily available and willing to listen to them and be attentive to both the verbal and the non-verbal, we are going to get positive results out of our teens. So both parents, get me right, the father and the mother, both parents should spend quality and quantity time with these teens, explaining the various changes. Fathers with the boys, while mothers with the girls. Telling them what it means to have a wet dream. Telling them what it means to have feelings for sexual urges. Clearly telling them that it's not sin. It is well. But what should they do in that regard? Let us not pay a deaf ear or a blind eye at what is going on in the lives of our children. I remember one time I prepared a seminar for holiday makers. And I reached out to parents to give me children. And this particular lady told me, no, I don't want my children to know. I think you are going to tell them about how they can go about with sex. I said, no, my dear. We are letting them aware of what is going on in their lives. Ask them what they experience, and then we see a way forward. It's better than letting them find out from wrong sources. The parent is not ready to talk to the child. At the same time, they are not willing to let them go to other people who can give them the right information. We need to remember that 80%, about 80% of what our children learn is caught, not taught. So why don't we teach them the right thing? Why don't we display the right thing? Why don't we be intentional to drive them in the right direction? Parents should be their children's role models. We need to be mindful of how we behave before our children. I remember a friend at a time when I was in university. I went to university when I was already married. But this friend of mine had her phone call and she stopped to get it. When she picked it, it had gone off. Oh, the lady said, do you know, Ruth, it is going to be so bad for me. My husband was calling, it has gone off. I said, what's the problem? Call him back. She said, I can't call, and he picks. His mind brings him that now I'm into my other issues with other people, and in this regard, men, and so I'm not ready to pick his phone. My dear, this woman faces it rough, even up to today, because her husband beats up that lady before their children. And as I speak, one of their children has a mental problem. She has a mental problem. And it all stems from the way the father handles the mother. Parents, let us be realistic. Let us know that we are raising children. Let us know that there is no better school for our children to go to in order to be raised by parents. We are our children's parents. Whether we are guardians, we are the parent present in the life of these children. These teens can be really severely wounded. The way we communicate before them affects them. Parents, seek knowledge on how to help our teens. Seek knowledge from groups of people who can build us and groom us in order to raise our children in a manner that glorifies God. Communicate, and communicate truthfully to our children and in details. When a child asks a question, let us not brush them off. Let us tell them the right thing, even if it is concerning sex. What's the problem with you, parent? I remember my daughter who is completing university. When she was about 3 years coming to 4, she asked me that when is baby coming? And this is the one who follows her. When is baby coming? I said, I don't know. Then she said, okay, let me pray for you. She touched my stomach and she prayed. She said, God, I pray that they cut mommy's stomach and they bring out the baby. I said, no, for me they don't cut. They don't cut stomach to bring out baby. Because for me, I did not get my children through cesarean. I would go have a normal birth. So this child asked me that if you are not going to be cut to bring out the baby, how is the baby going to come out? I said, I will give birth to the baby. And it ended at that. She was so content that I've given the answer. Now, at a later stage, when this child was in primary 5, we went to visit a friend of mine who had delivered by cesarean. And she asked me, Mom, your friend showed me where they cut and I brought out the baby. But for you, you said they don't cut you. How does baby come out? How do you give birth? And they were both together with the one who follows her. They both looked at me and looked at their father because we were in the car. We were coming from the hospital. And then they waited to hear what I was going to say. I said, baby comes out of the stomach through susu. Then they looked at each other and then they looked at their father and they said, Daddy, is it true? Then their father asked them, does mommy lie? Does she tell lies? They said, no, mommy does not lie. Then he said, what she has said is what happens. They stopped at that. And it was that. Now, if I had hesitated telling them, they would want to find out how my babies come out of the womb. How do they come out without cutting me? Now, you give the rightful information to your child if there is an opportunity for them to ask. And let us be present that they will ask us, because in our absence, they will find answers from wrong sources. And dear parents, it's never too late to establish a relationship with our children. Let us begin from the beginning, from the very beginning, to establish a relationship with our children, so that when they become teens, or even beyond, we are able to relate. Let us not be present physically, but emotionally drifted into our other things, trusting and praying to God, who has entrusted us to raise these children and nurture them into responsible adults is very, very important. Let us trust God. We have some questions here for us to ponder. We can discuss them amongst ourselves. Mommy and Daddy, we can discuss these questions. We can visit such groups like Mothers Union, Fathers Union, parents groups, and discuss these questions and see how we can find a way forward to help our teens, to grow them into responsible adults. First question: what are some common barriers to effective communication in our relationship with our teens? Question number 2: how can active listening produce relationships with friends and family? Question number 3: what role does nonverbal communication play in conveying messages? How can teens express their feelings and needs without being aggressive or passive? Number 5, what are some strategies for resolving conflicts in a healthy way with our teens? How can social media impact communication in our relationships with our teens? Question number 7, what are some ways to give and receive constructive feedbacks from our teens? Number 8, how can empathy and understanding improve communication? With those questions in mind, let us be very, very intentional in finding time with our children, in having a listening ear to our children, in responding to the questions our children ask. And if we cannot respond to them, let us find people we trust that can be in the lives of our children. I am Esther Ruth Ibalwa, here at Berut Counselling Service Center, where we touch lives. And in this regard, let us join the move to touch our teens. Stay blessed.